Hello everybody, I am Hoarder Gamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you had a good week. Today, we've got some video game news. We're going to toy around, look at the near future of comic books, and then we're going to end with a comic book review. So, starting up, we're going to talk about video game news and or, things I've been playing in detail. So, the First Descendant. I like it a lot. I've already talked about how some of the monetization's a little bit questionable, such as how they work with paints and things like that. But I do think like the basic skins are really affordable. Like for $5 you can get like a head piece and the rest of the armor of like a basic skin. I don't think that's bad at all. I'm actually going to be doing that for Bunny. The characters I'm playing are Freyna, Bunny, and Viessa. And just see, a number of things I can say about it. Something that might be helpful. At one point you're going to have to go through and do reactors. They're like shard void reactors. And first up, you need to do a separate mission to find whatever kind of amorphous module you're looking for. Okay? And it's like this big round sphere. And in the sphere is one of like 5 or 6 items, and there's a percentage chance of what you'll get. So you want to get those, and then for the most part, you'll break those open by fighting bosses called Void Colossi. Okay? There's like 8 of those, at least on normal difficulty. There are certain times, though, where you'll have to go and get shards from an activity, usually an outpost, it seems. Actually, no. From an actual, like, remnant or shard kind of mission. So you get these shards, and then you have to find a reactor. and you put those shards in the reactor to get it to let you fight a very difficult boss battle. A boss battle I recommend you try to fight with more than yourself. I tried fighting something called Clone Neckbet, and it was insane. They claimed I was able to fight this thing at level 41 gear and level 41, because your character stops at level 40, right? But your gear continues going on numbers. So I had like level 45 gear, and this thing was still damn near unstoppable. And then when I finally went through 3 of my 5 lives to fight this thing, it went to a second life bar, and those spheres showed up. A lot of the villains have these spheres that pop up after you take off a life bar, and you got to just blow them up, and then you can attack the villain again. Well, this one decided that when the spheres come out, it's going to move super fast, like insanely fast, and the spheres change, meaning that you have no idea which one to shoot until it like gets like this like aura removed from it, and then you can attack it for a couple seconds, and then that aura moves to another one. It is a little bit brutal, to say the least. But with a group, it's a lot more fun and a lot easier to do. I was actually playing with Lillionaire and Coach Body the other night, and we were like going and doing the shard missions, and there's 4 different types of shards. So we had to go to all these different places, like the Sterile Lands. We had to go to Echo Swamp, all these places to get these shards, and then get these amorphous pieces that had to be opened up. And I'm happy that I finally have like 2 parts of Velby, so I'm very happy about that. Velby is the character that's like made of water, and her outfit is almost looks like a spacesuit. I think she's really cool. But yeah, I look forward to actually getting that character to play with, and hopefully I can talk about that next week. Hopefully I'll have her by then. It seems that one of the main components of Velby is in an area I haven't even seen yet, so I can't even say for sure that I'd have Velby by then. Because once you have the pieces, you actually have to go and have them made, and then it's basically like you're making a clone of the person. It doesn't make exact sense. I will say that in Wayfinder, they explain that in a much more detailed way, that you could have, 10 of the same character in the city area, But yeah, I very much like the First Descendant, and it's kind of a blast to play with friends. And today, I just tried a small little mission, like a 3 or 4 minute mission, and I got destroyed. So what I did is I did the mission again, but this time, if you hold the start button, the pause screen pops up, and one of the options is to ask for help, basically, And you put out a beacon, and someone could possibly come to it, and someone did. And I had a lot of fun beating the mission with a random person, and we both got the rewards for the mission and everything. Now, there are some like void missions where you want to do those with your friends, and then you want to do the void missions, the shard void missions, with them too. Definitely reciprocate, because there's 4 types of shards. And the shards you need may not be the ones your friends need. And even worse, if you don't have a descendant of that element type, you don't get those shards. So you definitely want to reciprocate with your friends and figure out, okay, everyone that can do electric, I'll go with you, even though I don't have electric, and then vice versa. Like, let's say I have poison, everyone that has electric comes with me or doesn't have poison, and we make sure, though, we go to everyone and make sure they get the shards that they require, and they can actually get those shards. So, but no, I think the game is really cool. Early August is going to be Luna. She's supposed to play a lot like a music game based character, so I don't know if like there's like rhythm buttons you hit in time or how it works exactly. I know there's a character that's like that in Warframe, and there could be similarities, but I don't know if it's exact. I don't know exactly how she controls, but she sounds really cool, and she's got that whole like awesome kid sister vibe, just like Velby does. Bunny too. Bunny definitely comes off as like the kid sister that you want to protect. But But yeah, I very much enjoy the First Descendant. Now, also, let's see, what other gaming news do we have? Some Star Wars news. 10 minutes of footage came out today via IGN First, and it took us to a mission. I mentioned this, I think, a week or two ago when I talked about Star Wars Outlaws. And basically, you're tasked by the Jawas to get a tooth from a dead Sarlacc, okay? And it's just as cool as you think it sounds. And they like showed like 10 minutes of the mission, but they abbreviated certain parts. So the mission's probably 20 or 30 minutes, and who knows, maybe you won't even complete it your first time. There's stealth, there's you on your bike, there's you actually going into the Sarlacc and exploring, the dead Sarlacc it is, and it's super cool. It was really neat to see those 10 minutes of gameplay. The game comes out between August 27th and August 30th, I believe. The 27th is if you get early access by buying a expensive version of the game, not the base version of the game. Like the base version is going to be, I believe it's August 30th for that one. But yeah, that's a game I very much look forward to. I think it's going to be neat. Tomorrow, everybody, Diablo 4 is going to show off the Spiritborn. That is the new character class for Diablo 4, and it arrives in the Vessel of Hatred October 8th. So they're going to have a deep dive on the character, its abilities, and like its background, and probably even more of like what's in the actual expansion. I don't believe it's just the Spiritborn, but I look very forward to seeing that, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. PT. So like for me, it's 1 p.m. 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So I look forward to seeing the Spiritborn. I think that's going to be really cool. And, everybody, if you happen to have Game Pass, you can try Flintlock Siege of Dawn. That's available at 2 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. So, it looks awesome. And it's going to retail, I believe, at $39.99. And it's a Souls-light, not a Souls-like. Probably more in the vein of a difficulty like of Star Wars Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order, I would think, from everything I've heard. But yeah, if you have Game Pass, it's included. So I definitely would check that out. And with that, we're actually done with video game news. I'll have some news next week about the not Star Wars. I wish it was Star Wars. The Marvel beta. The Marvel Rivals beta, which I believe is going to be next weekend. So we'll talk about that next Wednesday. So I figure a little bit too much gaming news would drive people nuts. So let's curb it a little bit. We'll curb it a little bit. Next up, everybody, we are going to toy around. And first up, I have... Let's see here. What do we start with today? Let's start with Optimus Prime. Okay, everybody. This is an excellent Optimus Prime based on how he looked in the I want to say it was 86, 87 movie. I think it looks really good. It's larger than you think. It's actually a scale larger than the Optimus Prime that came out for pre-order earlier this year, which I think comes out in just a few months. But yeah, I really like this Optimus. And it's not just this awesome picture that they've recreated from like either the movie or the cartoon opening. It's also this. He comes with the trailer. He comes with the trailer. He comes with the little car. Okay. And if you open his chest, he has the Matrix of Leadership. So I really like this a lot. Now, based on the amount of plastic put in this thing, based on its size, okay, and detail and everything, it's $89.99. Pre-orders are live for this now. It's actually doing really well in pre-orders, apparently. So, there's a number of these versions of Transformers based on the movie, but this is one of the absolute best I've seen. This one looks insane. And I love that he comes with the trailer and everything. And yeah, they showed like... I want to say he's like an inch or two taller than the other Optimus Primes for the most part. He looks really nice. And like the scale, like the arms, legs, chest, and everything larger. So he looks really good. The price makes more sense if you see it like up close as to how big it is. Next up, everybody, we have the Phoenix. Okay. I think this is one of the best Jean Grey figures I have ever seen. I love this one. We have another picture. We're going to go into a bit more detail, but you get an extra head. You get that awesome partial, like translucent phoenix that comes with her. Plus, there's going to be like a base of like flames. And the figure itself is also a really good sculpt. It looks really great. So it's like almost like a box set that you're getting. Look at that. That there is everything. The flame background, the phoenix, Jean Grey in front of it. Yeah, I think that looks excellent. Right now, there's no price. I believe pre-orders go live for this tomorrow at like, I think it's 1 p.m. Central. No, it's, you know what? It's probably like 11 a.m. Central, I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think it looks really cool. I'm going to guess $39.99 with the amount of plastic put into it and all the detail, the extra head and everything. I think that's fair. Someone jumped to saying it was $60, and then Preternia was like, no. And if you're not following Preternia on Twitter and you do like toys, you are doing yourself a disservice. Preternia has awesome pictures of the toys, news reveals, and stuff like that. And then also, basically, you can support Preternia by clicking on links. And Preternia does an excellent job of like having links for just about everything you would want. So, yeah, I definitely like Preternia a lot. So, definitely check them out. But yeah, I think this looks really good, and yeah, I'm hoping it's more in the $39.99 range, you know? But it's an excellent Jean Grey figure. It is so nice. I think we have one more thing this week. One more? Let's see. Do we? Yes, we do. We have something insane, actually. Okay, so after Phoenix, we have the Joker. The Dark Knight version of Joker. However, it's Imposter Joker. What if that version of Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, basically tried to masquerade as Batman in a screwed up looking version of Batman's outfit? I think it looks phenomenal. I don't think the price is out yet. I know it's going to be expensive. It's apparently in the Artisan Edition, and it has hair, like actual wool hair that is like put in. I want to say it might be actually like each single hair implanted in the head. Like, it looks crazy. Now they might also do one that has just like really nice looking sculpted hair, but this one is actually wool hair, and it's part of the Artisan Edition. And the detail on it, the extras you get, it's Hot Toys, you know? Hot Toys is known for making just awesome looking things. And this is no different, and I feel it'll be very popular because their Heath Ledger line of figures that they've done for like the Dark Knight were incredibly popular. So, and with that, everybody, we are done toying around for the week. Now, it is time for us to look at the future, the near future of comic books, all the way to 1 week from today. Okay, everybody. First up, we have... Let's go with this one. Jason Aaron, who apparently writes every comic book in the world now. The man doesn't sleep, is doing Flash Gordon #1 for Mad Cave. Flash Gordon gets a distress from Dale, and he's on his way to rescue her. And it's a brand new series, an ongoing, not a mini-series. And Jason Aaron is one of the best comic writers currently going. So this seems like a really cool book. Flash Gordon #1. Detective Comics 1087. Continuing Ram V's wild opera or like libretto or whatever you want to call it exactly. Very gothic story involving a family known as the Organs, which they're pretty much monstrous, if not monsters. And now we've got Joker and Mr. Freeze in the storyline. I believe this is the third to last issue of Ram V's run of this whole Gothic story. Now, I don't know if Ram V is continuing the Detective comic book after this run or not, but like this large story arc that has been going on now for, I want to say, 2 years is finally coming to its end. Detective Comics 1087. Next up, we have NYX, New York X-Men, Wolverine, Kamala Khan, and one of the Cuckoos are in New York, and it's about mutant pride, and it's sounds like a really cool book. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Good chance I'll review it next week, actually. Now, I'm not trying to review X books every week, but like this is one I was really kind of looking forward to, so I might review this one. Although there is a chance that instead of this book right here, that I'll be reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the beginning of the new storyline, the new story arc, okay? Again, believe it or not, Jason Aaron is now writing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I think it sounds amazing. Raphael is in prison, and I believe it's issue 2 we find out that Michelangelo's in Japan, and it sounds like his story arc is similar to Bill Murray's in Lost in Translation. This sounds like a really cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe that's about to unfold next week. This book is going to be huge. There's like 5 covers for it. Pre-orders have been absolutely crazy. Everything's so wild now with IDW. They went so far as to have their own little catalog now at comic shops. So recently what happened was Marvel and DC got their own little catalogs, and those are free, okay? And so is the IDW one. They're free. And you get those when you get this thing called previews, which lets you order comic books. And that's a huge, massive catalog, okay? It's like a book. It's usually about like $5, I think, a month. But at every comic shop, you can also just get the guide, like the paper ordering guide, and that's no cost. And then all these different studios have their little like booklets that come with it. And because of the popularity of the Turtles and the strength of their lineup, IDW has their own guide to actually help you order books. So that's pretty interesting to me. But yeah, there's a very good chance I will review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. So it's going to be that or New York X. I'm not sure exactly which, but one of those two. I hope you're all excited for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm interested to see what Jason Aaron does with it. There was a preview, I want to say, of like 5 pages, again, involving Raphael in prison. And it was very interesting. I believe there's a massive time jump. I don't know if we ever jump backwards and see how things got to that point. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're going to do it like Lost with tons of flashbacks. I honestly am not sure. But I'm very much looking forward to it. And it's great to be able to jump on because, like, the last massive storyline, you know, series that they had going, I want to say was over 5 years. So they had a big, awesome Rat King story arc. And that was like the last year or so. But then like 4 or 5 years, kind of like the same idea of a big, massive world of mutants and all these things, all these elements going on. So it'll be interesting to see it kind of like at a new starting point almost, but not quite. I'm looking forward to it. Next up, everybody, we have our comic book review for the week. And it is... See, I was worried about this, that I would confuse this with the action figures and then put up the picture of the action figure again. Phoenix #1 by Stephanie Phillips. Okay, So this is a pretty interesting intro to this series, and it's an ongoing series. It's one of the new ongoing X-Men books, and what happens is a sun is about to die out, and basically I believe that means it goes supernova, and Phoenix goes to this planet and saves these people by basically just, stopping the sun from doing that. Because she is so powerful, she can do that, okay? And you meet this young kid and the kid's father, and it's all about, like, the strict religious structure of this planet. And it's that organization from the Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out on console about, like, 2 years ago or so. So it's the that specific church or whatever. It's them again. So that's pretty interesting right there. Also, right around the same time, but not exactly, we have the Kiln 2, which is this prison for supervillains, okay? And Nova is there. And he actually contacts Phoenix and says, hey, this black hole is about to, destroy everything here and everything in this entire, part of the galaxy. So Phoenix goes and basically stabilizes the black hole, as she says. Okay? But by her doing that, she lets out a very dangerous villain that almost killed Thor called Pericus. And Pericus, just like Thor, has these, ideas that basically, like, he's a god and everything, and he's very dangerous. So what happens? He goes and he escapes and crash lands on the same planet with the strict religious upbringing where we met the kid and father. And he's basically taking over there. And the book basically hints that this is going to lead to something very awful and terrible. And sadly, it was because Phoenix had to make the decision to stabilize the black hole or to stop Pericus from escaping. So it should be very interesting. There's a great moment where Scott Summers is actually talking telepathically to Phoenix, and it's like this like really intimate moment. And for Phoenix and Scott, it seems to be like an even more intimate time than sex itself. So it was this really cool moment. It's like 2 pages, and it talks about, like, Scott, just close her eyes and concentrate, and then they feel the connection. Even though they're, like, super far away from each other. She's all the way out in space, and he's at that warehouse that we found out about in X-Men 1. So that was a really cool moment, and I think Phoenix is a really good starter of this new X-Men series of books. I believe Phoenix is the first of the not standalone, but, like, single hero focused books. Because, we got X-Men, and we got Uncanny X-Men, next week is NYX, and there's Phoenix. Wolverine is soon, but I want to say that Wolverine is like, I want to say it's October or August, issue 1 of the new Wolverine book. So, but yeah, everybody, I thought Phoenix was a lot of fun. I liked it. Also, honorable mention today, I was also able to read Powerpuff Girls #1. Very clever, okay? Basically, this robot comes to the girls' school, Bubbles, Buttercup, and Blossom, the school that they attend. This robot shows up, and it's like a career day type thing, where it's like, this is the best thing you should do. This is your destiny. You should follow this, okay? And, they're like, well, we're superheroes. It's what we do. We're superheroes. And they fill out the forms that this robot gives them, okay? Robot is called HIMS. So anyone that knows the Powerpuff Girls might see where this is headed. Next up, we know Bubbles is a little bunny, and her entire day is spent playing with other bunnies. Okay? Blossom is a hard-boiled 1940s detective. Okay? And Buttercup is a luchador. And they're going on these 3 separate tangents on what they're doing daily as their new like careers or their new destinies, basically, until they realize that, as you guessed it, him is behind it all. The devilish him. It was very good. It was super clever, and I was very impressed by it. Believe it or not, Powerpuff Girls 1. It was very good. Good to see you, Doom. How you doing? But yeah, that's like an honorable mention for that book, because I'm really only gonna do like 1 review a week. You know, on super rare circumstances I might do 2, but you know, everybody, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for making time for me, and for whatever reason, if you want to make more time for me, heaven only knows why you would. Twitch.tv/Hoarder Gamer, and roughly every 2 weeks, the Primecast with J. Kuhn Prime. I am the co-host. J. Kuhn Prime is the host, and that is on the J. Kuhn Prime Twitch channel. It hits YouTube, I believe, the day after, so definitely check that out. Currently streaming, I'm doing a lot of the First Descendant. I very much like that a lot. If I try out the Flintlock game, Flintlock Siege of Dawn on a Game Pass, and I absolutely love it, then yes, I would think of getting the PlayStation version and streaming it. But I don't know, and I don't want to commit to that yet. I want to see how it is. Also, before I let everyone go, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate, that came out for the Switch. I want to say it was yesterday or today. So that's a Hades type experience where you're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the idea is that you get like some level of progression, but you're kind of like doing things over and over until you can get through very difficult levels. But a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game like that to me sounded awesome. And right now it's on Switch, and it's supposed to be hitting PS4 and Xbox later in the year. Okay, everybody. I want to thank you all very much for watching, making time for me, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.